Hey, what's up guys? This is Jason with Samus Prime, and yes, I am finally back with an MPR update. Sorry, I know it's been a while. We've been really busy. The team's been working hard on the project, and so we've been really just putting things together and trying to get things ready for this update. Now, this update actually doesn't even have everything in it that I wanted to have in it. Just for the main reason is just because we've been working so hard and we just have so much still left that we want to do and show you guys, but I figured it's been long enough. I really wanted to just show you what we've got so far. Again, we're just gonna be playing through the Space Frigate today, and then also I've got a little bit of the Chozo Ruins that I want to show you guys at the end, something really cool there. So make sure you stay tuned for the entire video because there's a lot we're gonna be showing you today. So again, here's the intro of the video again, as we've all seen it. There's been some adjustments made to my settings in Reshade. This is actually the GameCube version of the game. The main reason why I'm playing the GameCube version instead of the Wii version is because I don't have batteries for my Wii remote. So I'm just using my Xbox One controller, and we're just gonna go ahead and play through the GameCube version today. But basically they look very much the same. A little bit of a difference, but not much, just because, the Wii version got stretched out. Some of these cinematics, they stretched them out in order to fill the 16:9 ratio of the screen. These still have the bars, as you can see at the top and the bottom, the black bars. So that's how you know it's the GameCube version. But yeah, as you can see, Samus's suit is looking great. We've done a lot of updates to her suit, and we've got it looking a lot more like the original. It looks really clean. We've made some updates to the planet texture of Talon 4. As you can see, RDM, our new texture artist, has been working hard. And as you can see, he's made some amazing texture updates to what we had prior. Before this, the planet I had was like purple color. Now it's more the tone of the original, which is more of an orange and a yellowish color. And we're still working on a lot of this stuff, but a lot of these textures are new. There's a few still in the Orpheon frigate that are the older textures, which we are going to be updating. And there's still some that we got to finish. So things are coming along very well, though, and looking really good. Let's just start off. We'll go ahead and I can give you a closer look at Samus's suit. As you can see, her arm cannon is now looking a lot more like the original cannon. And we've also redone her grapple beam, which looks amazing. And again, this is RDM did this, and he's an amazing artist. He's done some amazing work. If you've seen him, any of his work, then you know how talented he really is. And he's been able to transition, and he and I have been working together on a lot of these textures, and he's been able to transition his skills over into this texture work, and it's really just coming together really nicely. And so definitely appreciate the contributions that he's made to the project, and he's really helped step up the look of the project for us. Let's see, I just want to quickly go ahead and take the visor and helmet opacity down so that we can really get a good look at the full environment here. Again, with the reshade settings, I've toned some things down. So the colors, even though they're still extreme, pop a lot, that's more because of Dolphin than anything. And really, even if you go and play the original game, it's a very colorful game. I just think the higher resolution and things in Dolphin just bring it out even more. But I'm actually have toned down a lot of the sharpening that was going on too in the prior videos, simply because now we have high res texture, so there really is no need for the sharpening in the shaders of Ishiruka Dolphin, because it makes things a little bit too sharp. And so I've gotten rid of that, and now we're more with the basic whatever it is in Dolphin as far as the sharpening. As you can see, we still got really good lens flares going on and stuff, and that's from Reshade. And yeah, as I said, I've toned down those settings quite a bit. We'll be showing you some of the normal maps too today. I've got some normal maps added into the game. They're very early versions of what will be in the final version, but still look really good, and it'll give you a really good idea of just what normal maps can bring to the game. Okay, so, and again, there are a few textures here that are brand new, and there's a couple of them that are from some you might have seen before from some of my older videos, but we're working on updating everything. And so it's been a long process. We've got a lot of guys working on the project, several now. But we're always looking for more. So if you're watching this and you feel like you could bring something to the team, definitely contact myself so I can we can talk about it and see what we can do. Maybe we could bring you on, and you know, it'd be great to have more help. That's for sure. So a lot of this stuff has been redone, you know, from what you saw prior. This is a good spot here to show you some of the normal maps. As you can see there, that bumpiness and the light reflecting off of the surface now, that is what the normal map does. The lighting engine in this game isn't the greatest. I mean, it's old, you know, it's almost 16 years old. So the light doesn't reflect as well as it would in a new engine, but it's still, you know, with the Ishiruka Dolphin allowing you to add maps into the game, normal maps and specular maps and things like that, it really does add a lot to it. As you can see, like the cracks, the light reflecting down in the crack, and then also just the that bumpiness that kind of appears on the texture now. That is the result of a normal map. We have yet to add specular maps into the textures just yet. We've got Glitch working on that. Actually, Glitch is now known as Ray 3D. So if I refer to Ray, I'm talking about Glitch, just so you know. But yeah, Ray's been working on those, and so hopefully we'll get those added in here soon, and I can do another update to show you guys just how amazing this looks with the specular maps as well. But you know, as I said, being that this is such an old engine, it's not reflecting as well as, you know, it could. As you can see right here is a good example. You see how there's a bumpiness appearing on that rounded texture right there, but the actual door, there's not. And if I get a little closer, see there, now you can see that bumpiness, and it's because it just, you know, the light from the gun doesn't really interact with that texture until you're that close to it. And so definitely a pitfall of such an old engine, an old lighting system, but still does add a lot to the game and does look really good. Here is a good spot to show you how the lights from Samus's morph ball also react with it, and as you can see, it adds you know, a lot of bumpy and graininess to the look of the texture. It doesn't look so flat. It looks a lot more just realistic. At the same time, you know, like I said, it's not as good as a modern engines, you know, like a Unity 4 or Unreal Engine 4 or something like that, but it's still a lot better than the original was. And once again, you can see how that looks. So looks really good. A lot of these textures in here have been redone as well. One thing you might notice is our Parasite there. Redone some of the textures on that. I'm still working on the coloration of the textures because they're a little bit off as far as the original, but still, I mean, if you just look at it, and we do not have normal maps or anything on these yet. We will be adding normal maps to the enemy textures, as well as possible some height maps or bump maps and specular maps, but that has yet to be done. On some of these textures in here, as you can see, these have been redone. RDM did this as well, and yeah, once again, he's done some really amazing work and added a lot to the project. So as you can see, we've got normal maps on these. These boxes over here have been redone. So yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is moving along, man, and it's just taking time because, like I said, we've got some guys working on it. We've got, you know, several, but still a small team. I would say actively we have about 3 or 4 of us that are, you know, actively working on it. We've got a couple guys who do it, add stuff when they can, and there's about 2, 3, 4, maybe 3 of us that are, you know, continuously working on it almost every day, you know, on one part of the game or another. I wanted to show you guys this too. As you can see inside of the Parasite's tail now, there's those teeth, and there's just a lot more definition that was not there before. And this is all done, just been done recently. This is all new stuff, so I'm really excited to show you guys that. To see some more of the, you can see some of the stuff looks really, really bumpy. And this is early work when it comes to the normal maps, so we will definitely be refining this over time, and we'll get it looking a lot better. This is just very early as far as the normals. Yeah. A couple things I wanted to talk about as well was the fact that we're really wanting to do a demo of this part of the game, and we're looking to possibly have that ready in time for the big video game awards show. You know, there's a lot of rumors going around that we might actually see Metroid Prime 4 for the first time, some form of trailer for Prime 4. I believe the video game awards show's in December, like early to mid-December. And so we're hoping to be able to have, a demo for this part of the game ready by then. And that way you guys can try it out. If you're interested in possibly testing the demo, it's not going to be just an open demo to everybody. We're going to just select some, few of you lucky viewers and subscribers to check it out. And so if you want to find out more on how you might be able to test the demo, definitely make sure you're a member of our Discord. There's a link to our Discord down in the video description of this video. Make sure you guys join us on Discord. It's also a really fun place to be. We got a lot of really cool members, and a lot of cool guys there. We talk a lot of Metroid. We talk a lot about all kinds of video games. So definitely join if if you're interested, especially if you're interested in testing MPR. But as you can see, I've added normals to this stuff here. It looks really good. I really like this texture here. I worked really hard on that. Some of these textures really are going to need to be updated, like this screen and stuff. We're going to get looking a lot more like the original, but that hasn't been done just yet. But a lot of this room is finished. These also over here have been redone. RDM did these ones as well. So looking really good. But yeah, guys, make sure you join the Discord if you're interested in getting in on the beta. And like I said, not everybody's going to have the opportunity, but we're going to just randomly choose some of you guys to test. If you're interested, join the beta and let us know. This corridor here, this elevator, a lot of the textures here have been redone now too. Look really good. See, as you can see the lighting there, you can really see the normal maps right here in this area where there's this light. As you can see the bumpiness on a lot of these textures, and this light right here is just a really strong light source. It's one of the few really in the game. I mean, there are some, but not a lot. And so yeah, like I said, the lighting engine in this game isn't the strongest. So, but as you can see, a lot of these textures have been done, and they look really good. I think for the most part, this elevator is just about finished. I mean, there's a few, like this one with the wires, that I'm still going to work on and get redone. But a lot of these other ones have been done already. And yeah, it's starting to come together. It's starting to look really good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on down here. And here you'll see, once again, the Parasite. These textures have been done, touched up. It looks a lot sharper than it did originally. And when you see the Queen, you'll really be able to get a good idea of how much better her textures are. Once again, we got normals in here, as well as, like right here, I believe we got some normals, yeah. So, it really adds a lot of grittiness to it, but, as much as it can, as I said, for this older lighting engine. But I think once we get the finished normals, because again, these are early, once we get the finished normal maps up, as well as the specular maps, the lighting and things will start to look even a little bit more, more realistic, or just a little bit better, period. And then once we get that done, I think we'll pretty much be ready to get that demo going so that you guys can actually see this for yourselves. Because it's one thing to see it through YouTube. With YouTube's compression and stuff, it definitely, the quality of what you're seeing takes a hit. But being able to actually play it for yourselves and see it, you're really going to be able to see just how much better things are looking. We still have to redo the textures for those pirates as well. There's another area where we got some normals, as you can see. And I think another area where you're really going to notice a lot of new texture work is pretty much from here on out. There's a lot of stuff. RDM did this in here. Look at these wires. They look so good. He's amazing, man. He look at just the level of detail, his ability to really capture the correct shadows and things. It's just really, really well done. Honestly, it's so much better than the stuff I was doing originally. Here's actually a texture right here from the original. As you see, my lines are a little too thin. I got to thicken my lines on that to more match with his. I mean, overall, it kind of just falls into place. You know, so much better when you have that thicker lines and things that he's been doing, and it just captures the original look of the game a lot more than what I had been doing. So yeah, very much pleased with how things are turning out. Looks like most of the stuff here in this elevator car has been done, I believe. There's a couple that have to be done still. You can really tell if you look up close at, like, here's one that wasn't done. Look how blurry that is compared to some of the sharper stuff. You know, you can really see the difference. I like to shoot this guy off the ceiling. One of the things I've noticed about the GameCube version is that, well, and I am running this in 4K just to get a better image quality, is there are little glitches here and there where the game kind of hiccups a little. That doesn't happen in the Wii version. I'm not sure why. It's just something to do with Dolphin, and the Wii games seem to run a little bit better than some of the GameCube games, especially this one. So you see some of these have been done now. A lot of this in the background has been done. A lot of these textures are reused, so that's one of the benefits too, is you do one of the textures in here and it gets used in multiple spots. So if every single area had new textures, this would take even longer. Alright, so you get to see the Parasite Queen now, guys. You're gonna get to really get a good look at the new textures for the Parasite Queen. It really looks good. I also think we're getting a lock 60 for the most part in the performance, even though I'm playing in 4K. I'm not uploading the video in 4K simply because I don't have a way of capturing 4K without taking a huge hit in the frame rate. So I just go ahead and capture at 1080p, but I still render the game at 4K because it just adds that little bit more quality. You know, just to give you guys a little bit better of an idea of how this is looking when you're actually playing the game. As you can see though, I mean, the level of detail on the Parasite Queen now has taken a big bump up. When you saw her first in that cutscene, I'm sure you got a good look at the inside of her mouth, and there's just a lot more detail now. RDM also did the texture work for this. So yeah, man, it's really looking good. We're really excited with how things are turning out. There's still a lot of work to be done though, man. So again, if you guys are watching this and you think you could have something you could bring to the team, main thing, we'd like to have people involved who are enthusiastic about the game, who are big Metroid Prime fans, because that's really what's going to carry you through all the work, because we're not able to pay people. This is definitely voluntary work. I don't get paid. None of us do. We're just doing this because we love the game and we really want to just give fans something amazing, just an amazing remake or remaster of the game. So there's a lot of long nights and a lot of hard work that goes into it. And so, if you're interested, then definitely hit me up on Discord. So yeah, first thing we really want is people who are just really big fans of the game. We're dedicated. And then as far as skills go, a lot of the skill work or the texture work as far as this part of the game, we've been doing in Photoshop, and that would be RDM and myself. And so, you know, if you're really good at Photoshop, then I definitely think, you know, we could use you. So this is a part of the game too that wasn't done before, that we've gotten a lot of these textures updated now. And as you can see, things are starting to look really nice in this part of the game. They weren't there before, you know. These textures were all very muddy and blurry, and now we're starting to get them done, and it's really starting to add to the quality of the visuals in this part of the game. But yeah, so if you're a talented Photoshop guy, then yeah, we could definitely use you, especially in this part of the game and getting some of these textures done. And then as far as the other parts of the game, there'll be still other things that we'll probably do using Photoshop, but a lot of Chozo Ruins and some of the other more natural environments that have rocks and things like that, those are going to require some skill using other software and programs. Ray, formerly known as Glitch Gaming, Ray, he had a better idea of what we'll be using. But yeah, you can contact him as well in our Discord, so definitely join the Discord and hit us up if you're interested. But we're basically using just different texture creation software for some of the other parts of the game, and tend to be a little bit harder because it's just really hard to capture. I mean, we don't want to make things look completely different. I mean, we could go with some really ultra realistic looking assets. I want you guys to really get a good look at this room here. Check this out. I don't know if you remember how like blurry and just bad some of this looked before, but it's just so much better now. All this in here has been redone. And again, this was RDM's work all in here. This is RDM, and he just done some really amazing work in this area of the game. So yeah, big shout out to RDM for that. But yeah, if you've got skills using other software, again, definitely hit us up. If you've got experience creating textures, as I said, there's some really tough textures still to come, and a lot of work still to come in the project. So the more help that we can get, the better. So if you're interested, hit us up for sure. As you can see in here, all this has been redone. And then you're gonna get a good look at Ridley, who's we've started to work on. He's not done, but he definitely is starting to look a lot better. So check out Ridley here, and you get a good idea. So as you can see, there's a lot more detail. Taken some cues from Ridley and some of the other games and updated his look just a little bit. RDM is also to credit for the work on Ridley. So again, big shout out to him. He's definitely put a lot of work into this part of the game. The water, I don't know if you remember the water update that I posted a few months ago, but the water is also started to get better. We made some changes, and actually, it actually even looks better than this now. Recently, Ray has just made some more changes to the water, and so the water even looks better. But this is where we're at this point, and this is definitely an upgrade from where it had looked, what it looked like in that last update video. So one of the cool things about the GameCube version is you can see we get ripples and stuff in the water, that waves that you don't get in the Wii version. I don't know why they took that out of the Wii version, but they did. And so with the GameCube version, you do get that, so that's cool. So if you take a look at her grapple beam there on her arm, as you can see right there, yeah, been completely redone, looks so much better. Alright, so we get a good look at Samus's new power suit textures here, now that she loses her various suits. A little bit of slowdown there. Again, I don't know why the GameCube version seems to slow down a lot more than the Wii version. Maybe that's has something to do with why they took some of that stuff out. I don't know. Maybe there's more things that were removed from the Wii version than we even realized. GameCube version though is amazing, and it's honestly my favorite version. Although I do like the Wii remote controls a lot. I'm pretty, really used to the GameCube controls as well though. So. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make our way down to the planet at this point. I'm not going to go through the whole landing sequence and stuff. I'll just go ahead and cut straight to the Chozo Ruins and show you guys one more big development in what we've been working on. Alright, so as we move our way up in here to the Chozo Ruins, this is the last little part of the update, and I want to show you guys something that we've been working on that really just adds to the visual quality of the game. It looks really amazing. So what I'm going to do first is actually I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the custom textures. Okay. That way, it makes the difference a little bit more apparent because you might not know what you're looking at first. So this is the entry to the Chozo Ruins. And so one of the things that we've been working on is the lighting and the shadows in the game. There's actually, we figured out a way to just kind of make the lighting and the shadows, the baked lighting in the game, higher resolution. So as you can see, this is how the game has looked in all of our previous updates. The shadows have been, their same normal low definition selves, just really blurry and whatnot. And so with the help of the URDE team, we've been working with the URDE team. If you don't know what URDE is, it's a project where they're working on actually creating a new engine for the game. So yeah, the URDE team has been helping us, and they're developed the URDE, which has given us the ability to export baked lighting for the game, because there are light maps in the game, and so you can actually just create high resolution light maps which actually affect the lighting and the shadows and everything, and just make everything look a lot better. So let me go ahead and show you guys that now. And as you can see, the difference is pretty drastic. I mean, everything has sharper shadows now, as you can see there. Just looks a lot better. Some of this area now, as you can see, the shadows are just a lot more, well, they're the higher resolution, but they're also they just look, more realistic. Some of the stuff up here, like if you notice that crack in the wall, see that like hole in the wall right there? As you can see, that ledge there casts a realistic shadow down that just wasn't there before. I can show you guys here. I mean, it was there, but it was just so much more, smaller and just less, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good. And as you can see, all this shadowing here, how blurry it is normally. And even those little ledges, if you notice those ledges, how they cast shadows, but the shadows are just very, very undefined and just don't look that good. As you can see, there's a huge difference now. Everything it looks a lot better, it just looks sharper and just looks better. So that's probably one of the other really big breakthroughs we've made recently. So big shout out to the URDE-HECL team for their contributions to the project and for what they've brought to the table. They're very talented guys, and we're really, really excited to be working with them, and also looking to help them with the art direction and some of these new textures. Pretty much whatever they want to use from this project, we can go ahead and we're gonna allow them to use for their project. So that's another thing I wanted to let you guys know. Other than that, really, just want to thank you guys a lot for your interest in the project. Of course, you're interested in the project. I mean, you guys are huge Metroid fans, and as everyone on the team is. And so we really want to thank you for your support and for your continued support and just your interest, because it really helps drive us and keeps us working hard on this, because there is a lot of work involved. As you can see, a lot of these textures here still need to be redone. Some of them I've done, like up there, if you can see the writing and those sketchings of the Chozo. I don't know if they're like hieroglyphs or what they are, just the language. I've done those, but there's just a lot that hasn't been done. And again, with this area of the game, it's proving to be more difficult because these are natural textures, and as you can see, they're really muddy and really low quality. And we can throw amazing high quality textures in here, but they don't fit the aesthetic of the game. They tend to really transform things maybe a little too much. And I mean, we could just throw them in there and say, hey, look, a new MPR, new updated awesome realistic rock textures and things like that, but it doesn't capture that same feel that we're going for. With the Orpheon, it's a lot easier because things are just more simplistic in the sense that they're just metal and steel and things that are flat, whereas this stuff has a lot of texture to it, and if you put in a brand new rock texture, it really transforms things. And some people will like it and a lot of people won't. And I think personally we're really trying to stay as close as we can to the original aesthetic of the game, and so that's where we're running into a lot of work. And so if you are watching again and you are very talented, capable texture artists and you feel like you can help us, definitely hit us up, man. We really could use the help. So again, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I know this update's been a long while in the making, and I hope it was worth the wait. And definitely hit us up if you're interested in testing the beta of MPR. We're looking to have that ready in about a month's time. And so if you're interested, join Discord, join the discussion, get involved with the community, make yourself known and let it be known that you're interested, and we will look into possibly having you test. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jason, and I'm out.